Abhishek Singhvi, you have the somewhat, I would say, not the most enviable task of defending or trying to put a brave face to this Congress in fighting. Would you say that this is really not, this is the sort of last thing you need at this point, to have senior leaders come out and fight with each other publicly?
Look, Srinivasan, both the days I took the press conference, first was on petrol and diesel prices a few days ago, and today was on a Manipur issue. They were not planned for either the Mr. Azad Jammu statement or the Anand Sharma statement. Naturally, when you're doing a press conference and some other issue, questions come. So these were responses in response to a question. Yeah. Number two, certainly, let me be very clear, Srinivasan, there are a lot of people in our party who hold different views. I myself, for a start, I'm from West Bengal as far as politically being a third-term MP is concerned. I may have a view that you should align with X and not with Y.
Yeah.
And many of us may have expressed in the party at different times. It is a very much more democratic party than it's made out to be.
No, but more directly,
I may well agree with Srinivasan on issue X.
Yeah.
I may well agree with Mr. A on issue Y.
Yeah.
I may well agree with Mr. Anand Sharma on many issues. I would not like to put it in this way, and I would not like to do the timing in this way.
No, that's a very general statement. Let's get into specifics. If Anand Sharma says something like the fact that you can't be fighting communalists in a selective manner, and the presence and endorsement of the West Bengal PCC president is painful and shameful, referring to the Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary endorsement of this alliance with ISF is painful and shameful, he must clarify. Would you say that was a wrong? I mean, would you condemn that statement? Would you say that Anand Sharma shouldn't have said that?
I will not use your word, Srinivasan. I will simply say that all these things are completely avoidable. I think the factual position must be understood. As far as the alliance with the left is concerned, it's done and dusted many months ago. And while many of us may agree with Anand's view, that is the internal party matter on which we give our inputs. We can't rake it up now in the middle of an election.
You agree with his view?
No. There may be many people. I'm saying I may agree with some views or not. But those are matters to be given in internal party. See, this alliance for the West Bengal was done now, you think, or last week. This was done months ago. So there is a time and a place for everything. Secondly, the fact of the matter is that 92 is what the Congress negotiated for, and 92 in full the Congress has.
No,
now the alliance partner has decided to give something out of it. I think it's important that the BJP is tom-tomming, misusing, distorting your statement, saying we are the true shining secularists, you are all communalists. Of course, that's rich. That's
but that may be
politics.
That may be.
Therefore, you have to unite.
No, but Abhishek Singhvi, this is not about the numbers of how much you got. The fact is that you like it or not, this ISF is part of now the Congress Left Alliance, and quite apart from whether Anand Sharma spoke publicly or not, on merit, are you comfortable with the idea of the Congress tying up with what appears to be an openly religious front or party?
Congress is not tied up. X number of seats have been given to CPM.
But
out of their seats, they have given some
But he's part of your alliance.
That's all right. I mean, there's a different perspective. The word alliance sends a different message. He's not part of our alliance in the sense that any of our seats has gone to him.
Okay.
He's not part of our alliance that we are campaigning for him in any of our constituencies. Yes, there is a segment of constituencies which the left may have given it to him, ceded to him.
Well,
that's a fact of life.
That is being, if I may say so, that's somewhat of splitting of hairs, Abhishek Singhvi, because at the end of the day, the Congress itself wanted to tie up with him, a section of the Congress itself wanted to tie up with him, and they're quite peeved that the left beat them to it. But let me just ask you this in conclusion, that overall, every time statements like this are made.
Let me correct you. There is no such thing as the Congress was desperate to tie up with Furfura Sharif person and that CPM beat us to it. Let us be very clear. I don't accept that at all.
Okay, fine.
Yes. What has happened is, I am in alliance with you. Out of your own seats, you may give it to a person whom I may not have the same view about.
Okay.
I may well not have. But you've given it out of that, it's okay.
Okay. Let me just
ask you.
Organization. All right.
It's not a banned organization.
Okay. Let me just ask you overall though, because you've got Ghulam Nabi Azad saying, things that are in praise of the Prime Minister. You have Anand Sharma making these comments. Every time the Congress says we're a democratic party, let many flowers bloom. But at the end of the day, Abhishek Singhvi, this is a party with some disciplinary structures and protocols, presumably. How does all of this just get away? I mean, how do all of these leaders just get away without any consequences, any action?
Look, Srinivasan, you can rest assured that the Congress is not going to take or not take disciplinary action because the media would love its TRP ratings to shoot up in that nice, messy spectacle. So I understand your provocation. I understand your provocation. Let me be clear that as and when we think that genuine issue of disciplinary action arises, nobody can stop us. And as and when we think nothing of that sort has happened, no provocation or how much spice, and I'm not blaming you. Everybody wants to add spice to life. No spice is going to make us do it. Okay. Now, let me tell you, as far as your statements are concerned, Mr. Azad is himself clarified. I praised the Prime Minister many times. I think he's a great orator. I said, these are not things on which you take disciplinary action. Mr. Azad has clarified what he meant when he said that I've come from villages and the Prime Minister has been a tea seller. I don't think we are fighting at that level at all.
No, but still, you would say, you would concede that in any context, but certainly in the context of when you're heading into election season, that you have a leader who's already in a way positioned himself as part of a group that is questioning the Congress leadership, then goes and has this sort of parallel gathering in Jammu, and in that context praises the Prime Minister. Surely that is something which you would say is politically embarrassing.
I entirely agree, and I have said so before your program at my official press conference, that there is, the right thing at the wrong time becomes the wrong thing. This context may be totally different if you simply said this otherwise, but in the middle of an election, your focus has to be different. I entirely agree with you. And that I've said again today in a different way. And there may be things with which you are dissatisfied. But when we are fighting a tough election in different parts of India, some good, some not so good, you need to bury all this and strive forward in a united way. Otherwise, you have this joke of BJP saying the whole world is communal and we are true secularists.
Okay. Last word, absolutely the last word. Is all of this going to hurt you politically in these elections?
Well, if this keeps on happening, I'm not saying it's hurting us, but yes, if you are a true committed congressman, if you are true to a cause, if as you profess you want to strengthen, which is a word we've heard hundreds of times, if you believe that you have had that Congress blood in you, then obviously over 1,000 pinpricks like this every day, you're not strengthening the party, you are weakening it.
Okay. All right. Spoken as
and
candidly
that's highly avoidable.
Okay. Spokenly as candidly as you possibly can in these circumstances, Abhishek Singhvi. Appreciate your joining us on the show. Thank you very much indeed.